Hey everyone, welcome to Yoga with Maria. I'm Maria, and today we're practicing pigeon pose and some pigeon-like stretches. So grab 2 blocks, grab a pillow or a blanket, or possibly both if you know that you're quite tight in the hips. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and let's get started. All right, yogis, how are you doing? Come to your mat, and we're gonna find a seated position. We're gonna find Sukhasana. So take your right shin in front of your left. If you feel like your hips are collapsing backwards, take a block and place it underneath your seat. And then just take the hands to the sides and breathe. Just arrive to your mat. Take a few breaths in and out. Fill the body with air. And commit to coming to your practice with a little compassion for yourself, a little kindness, and a commitment to have a little time for self-reflection. Lean back and cross your left shin in front. And so the feet stay a little active here. Ideally, the feet are underneath the knees, if you can. And then hands come to the sides. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Lean back. Take the knees wide and bring the soles of the feet together for a Baddha Konasana. Take the hands behind you and then lift the hips up a little bit. Feel some traction in the low back. Just take the knees side to side and then take the hips a little bit closer to the heels and set them back down or sit them back down. Yeah, keep the hands behind you here. The arms act almost like a little backrest. Yeah, and then let yourself slink back a little bit. Hands come behind you and lift the knees towards center. Take the feet. The heels are going to come a little bit further away from the hips. The knees are going to be about hip width distance. Yeah, and then we're just going to windshield wiper the knees. So let them go to the right and let them go to the left. Go to the right and the left. Come back to center and take the feet even wider and let the knees fall over to the right. So this time the left knee is going to come just inside the arch of your right foot. And then lift yourself a little bit up here. So you're going to have most of your weight on your right hip. This left foot can come, this left heel can snuggle in towards the left seat if it makes this more available. And then you're going to walk your hands forward any amount here. If this is too much, maybe the hands or the forearms come to a block. Yeah, I'm going to turn a little bit so you can make sure to see this well and easy. So you should feel this in the outer right hip a bit here. Yeah. Stay with your breath. If you have any sharp shooting pain, ease out of this and come here. Or maybe you stay with the hands behind you. Yeah. And then wherever you are, lift yourself back up. Have this block handy. Lean all the way back. And you might just scooch this left foot away from you. You're going to pick up the feet once again. Take the feet about as wide as the mat. And this time you're going to let your knees fall over to the left. This right knee falls right in the arch of the left foot. Yeah, and then stay here. Or you're going to pull this right heel a little bit closer to the seat so you can sit up and walk the hands forward. Yeah, you might come to the forearms, maybe you stay on the hands. Pay attention to what's available for your body. And being here is totally fine as well. Wherever you are, lift yourself back up. Take the hands back behind you. Just really lean back and lift the knees back up. From here, cross the ankles and roll over the feet. Come to hands and knees. From here, breathe in and reach your right leg back. Breathe out, bring the right knee forward and place it just right between the hands, a little bit closer to the right hand. Tuck your left toe and pick up your left knee and scoot it back. So your right heel, the leg that's bent, you're gonna feel that heel right below the right seat. And then untuck the left toe. This is kind of gonna be our first variation of pigeon. Where we're kind of lifted up on the knee, the hands come forward, and maybe you walk the hands to the forearms, maybe you take your hands to blocks, and you're going to start to get this opening in the front of the left leg, which can be one reason why pigeon might feel like a tough posture to find. Yeah, and stay here, breathe. Take your hands back in line with the knee, tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, and just step to hands and knees once again. So just release that right knee. And then we'll take a few cat-cows in between here to release. So belly drops down on the inhale, chin reaches forward, chest reaches forward. Exhale, press into the hands and the top of the feet, puff up the back. A couple more rounds. Breathe in, belly drops. Breathe out, puff up the back, let the head fall heavy. And inhale. Exhale. So nice. Come to neutral. And then reach your left leg back behind you. Bring the left knee up towards the nose, and then place the shin with the knee at the front, right between the hands, a little bit closer to the left side. And then tuck your right toes and scoot that right knee back. And you'll feel this left heel right below the left seat. And then take the hands a little bit forward here. Let the torso lean forward. Breathing in. Breathing out. If you want to find a little bit more intensity, you can press down the top of the foot and lift the knee. Breathing in. Breathing out. Hands come back in line with the knee. Tuck right toe, lift the knee again here. And this time we're going to step to downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Really nice here. And then bring the knees to the mat, cross over the ankles, and come to lay down on your back. Hug your knees into the chest. And then take the knees wide and bring the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana. And then we'll take it to happy baby. So the heels separate, and you can catch behind the knees, the shins, and you can move the feet, the soles of the feet together any amount and then separate them. We're just gonna find these two shapes, one and then the other, just a few times, continuing to open up the hips. And then find the happy baby and stay here. Breathing in. Breathing out. You can rock side to side if that feels okay. Otherwise, stay here, stay chill in one spot. Breathing in. Breathing out. Hug the knees into the chest. Let the knees fall to one side and press yourself up. Find hands and knees, and then we're going to find downward facing dog. You can roll over the feet. Get there in whatever way makes sense for you. Hips lift, downward facing dog here. And then we're going to try this half pigeon pose, a pigeon stretch. We're kind of working all parts of the muscles that are open and activated in this position as we go. Lift up your right leg. And then bend the knee and take the knee forward and place it outside your right wrist. Keep your left toes tucked for now, and then pick up the left knee and scoot the knee back. Yeah, so this version's a little bit different. Instead of sitting right on top of the shin and the calf, the heel and the foot come a little bit more towards the midline. And then if this right hip is really far off the mat, you're gonna take your pillow or your blanket. I don't have one with me here today outside. You'll take your pillow or your blanket or both and just put them right underneath that hip. So you're just bringing the floor a little bit closer to you, finding support. We really don't want to be like hanging super hard in this or not be supported in this pose. The muscle will tense up, and then we're kind of counteracting what what we're trying to do here. So you can stay here on the fingertips. Maybe you walk the fingertips a little bit forward. Maybe you come to the forearms, and then you can actually walk the hands all the way forward and bring the forehead to the mat if that's available. So choose a variation that makes sense for you. Try to keep the pelvis mostly kind of on top of or in line with this heel, rather than letting yourself sink all the way over to the right. And many of us can feel quite a lot of tension or sensation in this pose. So notice if you're clenching the hands, or sometimes I'll like interlace the fingers and think that I'm being chill, but really I'm kind of clenching there. So wiggle the fingers, shake the hands out if you need, open and close the mouth. Sometimes we'll clench in the jaw. Yeah, even like wiggle the jaw side to side, kind of open and close the eyes really slowly and lazily here. You can move the head side to side, release, kind of make sure that you're not holding in the neck. And then stay with your breath. See if you can send breath. See if you can As you send an exhale towards wherever you have sensation, see if you can notice that there's like a little bit more space. And then bring your hands back to the mat. Lift yourself up if you aren't already. Tuck left toes, lift the left knee, and step to downward facing dog. Go ahead and lift your right leg and bend the knee, and this will be a little counter action here. Beautiful. If this variation of pigeon isn't working, go ahead and take the right foot down. Do not fret. We will be coming to a variation that can work for you soon. Left leg lifts up, and then take your left knee forward outside the left hand. Pigeon pose on the other side. Keep that right toe tucked and use it to scoot the right knee back so that the hips, the front of the pelvis kind of sinks back behind your left heel. Yeah, and then you can untuck the toes and relax that right leg. Just make sure it's lined up nice and straight behind you, and then the hands can walk forward. You can stay lifted if this feels okay. You've got blocks here, so if it feels right to have, blocks underneath the hands, that can work. Same thing on this side. If that hip is not reaching the floor, put a blanket, put a pillow, build the floor up to you. And then you've got options again here. You can take the forearms to a block. This can be nice. Forearms to the floor. All the way to a situation where the arms are outreached all the way in front of you. Forehead can come to the mat. Yeah, and then stay with your breath. And same thing on this side. If there's tension or feels like there's congestion in the left hip or wherever you feel that, try to direct your breath to where there's tension. Check in with the hands. Make sure the fingers aren't clenching. Open and close the mouth. Wiggle the jaw. Maybe even open and close the eyes really slowly, like as if you were lulling yourself to sleep. And you can move the head a little bit here so that we make sure that we're not holding in the neck. So can we exist in a space where there might be some uncomfortableness, some tension? Can we allow that to exist while at the same time finding softness, finding relaxation, finding openness? Can we stay open in the face of uncomfortableness? Can we stay soft in the face of uncomfortableness? Right? These are like the dualities of yoga. This is the energetic and the emotional piece of what we practice in a yoga class. So if it feels hard and like, oh my gosh, all I want to do is get out of it, see if you can use this as a bit of a lesson or a moment for growth. Take the hands back to the mat underneath the shoulders. Tuck your right toes, lift the hips up, and then step the left foot back. Go ahead and lift the left leg, bend the knee, and open the hip. Should feel pretty good to counter this to relax here. And then take the foot to the mat. Bring your knees back to the mat. Cross the ankles once again. Roll over the feet and come to lay down once again. Here we go. If that pigeon on the belly didn't work for you, it just was not feeling accessible, even if you were putting props and it wasn't working, do not fret. It is not about the specific pose at all. We're going to take care of that right now. Lift up your right knee and cross the right ankle over the left knee. Some of us have seen this figure 4 kind of shape before, but we're going to do it because this is about pigeon. Bring the left knee in towards the chest. And then you can interlace the hands behind the left thigh or the left shin. Keep flexing your right toe, or your right foot rather. The right knee kind of reaches towards the left toes. And same thing here, breathe. Rock side to side. If you did come to the pigeon pose, the half pigeon pose or pigeon stretch that we took on the belly, come to this again and see if you can come back to this place of existing in an uncomfortable place while finding softness, while finding ease. Gently release, take the foot to the mat and uncross the right ankle. This time left knee comes into the chest, left ankle crosses over the right knee, and then pull or bring the right knee closer to you. Interlace hands, try to take the opposite interlacing, so the non-habitual way, behind the right thigh or the shin. Flex the left foot, rock side to side if it feels okay. Yeah, breathe. And then release, uncross the left ankle. Take the feet a little bit wider, kind of like we did before, and go ahead and windshield wiper the knees again. The hands can come down by either side, a little bit wider, like kind of like a low V here, to just provide a little bit of stability and support, a container for the legs. Come to center, find the knees pointing straight up, and then extend one leg and then the other. Bring the hands closer to the body and flip the palms up. Find a Savasana position here. Can you continue to find this softness? You know, what usually kind of happens is, even if the body isn't in an uncomfortable position, when we take that away, sometimes the mind can still make our internal space uncomfortable or difficult or annoying or irritable. See if you can let that, if that's you, if that's how you feel right now, see if you can let that exist, let that have tons of space, let that have a soapbox, let that have a microphone, and also completely soften the body. Can we practice accepting the things that feel uncomfortable while we stay soft, while we stay open? Instead of living in a polarized or dual world of it has to be this or that, can we find softness? Can we find openness? Can we find ease in despite uncomfort or discomfort? Despite tension, despite irritability. Thank you so much for joining me today for Pigeon Stretch or Pigeon Pose. Namaste, yogis. If you're looking for more ways to take care of yourself as a way to be more productive at work and at home, I work one-to-one with women to do just that, using the tools of yoga, meditation, and mindset work. Ultimately, I help women move into leadership roles at work and get promoted without burning out. If this is interesting to you at all, head to my website at marialoida.com and send me a message to set up your free consultation call so we can find out if this work is right for you. See you soon.